This is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, August 29th, 2020. Looking at fire potential impacts for the next few days, today we will see gusty winds with low relative humidities across portions of Idaho and down into Nevada, Utah, and the Arizona Strip. You can see those areas highlighted in orange on the map. We're also looking at another day with some isolated mixed wet and dry thunderstorms. Today those will shift even further south and mainly impact the southeastern portion of the Great Basin. Moving into Sunday, we have a cold front moving through the area. That will shift winds to the northwest. So we will see a wind shift on Sunday with some gusty winds again. Winds will be cooler, but relative humidity stay pretty low on Sunday. We will see isolated storms across the far southern part of the Great Basin on Sunday. And then moving into Monday, continuing to see the area of gusty winds, low relative humidities, and cooler temperatures spread across much of the Great Basin, with the potential for some mixed wet and dry thunderstorms to move into the central Idaho mountains and western Wyoming. Looking at the near surface smoke forecast for today and tomorrow, this is forecasting basically ground visibility. This is what things will look like on the ground the next 2 days. This afternoon, we're looking at the porous visibility across portions of southwestern Idaho, northern Nevada. Things improve across those areas Sunday, but you can see a really big decrease across western Nevada with the smoke from some of those California fires really impacting western Nevada. So a pretty significant decrease moving into Sunday morning across western Nevada. We look at 6,000 feet above ground level. This kind of gives an idea for aviation resources what the smoke forecast is. You can see Saturday and Sunday looking pretty similar. The thickest smoke will be across northern Nevada into southwestern Idaho. Over the past 24 hours, we saw some more thunderstorms develop across portions of the Great Basin. The highest concentration of lightning was across the northwestern part of the Great Basin. These storms were a mix of wet and dry. ERCs continue to trend upwards across the central and southern part of the Great Basin. It's really been exceptional this year how weak the monsoon has been. So looking at those ERCs, really at quite high values across the central and southern part of the Great Basin. ERCs further north have come down a bit with the few days of showers and thunderstorms we've seen across the northern part of the Great Basin. Continuing to look at those ERC trends, even across the north, we're still above normal levels, so not quite at record, but a little above average for where we typically are this time of year. Further south, again, you can see just looking at that trend line hovering right around record levels, if not above record levels for much of the summer. Satellite this morning shows that low pressure system across the Pacific Northwest slowly making its way our way, with another disturbance moving through the northern part of the Great Basin, and that's what is going to bring our gusty winds this weekend. So looking at today, you can see that drier air in place across the northern part of the Great Basin. We are highlighting some of the PSAs for wind this afternoon. We are concerned about the wind threat with the lightning we've seen in portions of the Great Basin. Continuing to look at Sunday, the image on the left is showing the forecast wind speeds. Winds will generally be in that 20 to 30 mile an hour range with critical relative humidity levels across the majority of the Great Basin. Moving into Sunday, the low pressure system dips through the area. We see that cold front move through the Great Basin. You can see the driest air will be in place across the southern part of the area. Our northern PSAs flip to yellow on Sunday with the cooler temperatures. And with that front, we are concerned about wind across portions of northern Utah and far southern Idaho. Wind speeds tomorrow again in that 20 to 30 mile an hour range. Winds will shift to the north, so we will see a wind shift moving into Sunday with that cold front moving through. Even with the cold front, you'll notice the relative humidities remain quite low on Sunday. As we go into Monday, continuing to see that weather disturbance move through the area. Really large portion of the Great Basin highlighted for a high risk for winds on Monday, as that cold front does bring some really widespread gusty winds to the area. Wind speeds on Monday, 25 to 35, with some areas seeing 45 mile an hour gusts. So pretty strong winds expected on Monday. Relative humidities finally come up across the north on Monday. As you can see, Idaho, most of Idaho is above critical levels. for relative humidity, but the southern half of the Great Basin remains dry into Monday. Over the next 3 days, not too much precipitation is expected. We could see some precip with the cold front across portions of Idaho. So moving to Tuesday, looking at dry air really building quickly back into the Great Basin. Moving into Wednesday, we look at that dry air spread across the area. High pressure begins to build back into the Great Basin on Wednesday, and so we'll start to see temperatures rising. That trend continues into Thursday. We're looking at a pretty rapid warming trend towards the end of next week. Then as we move into Friday, just a continuation of that building high pressure, dry, hot conditions by the end of next week. Over the next 7 days, really not too much precipitation across the area. Most of the precipitation we see will come with a cold front this weekend. The 8 to 14 day period, it's not looking great. The Climate Prediction Center is calling for above normal temperatures and below normal precipitation. So after this quick shot we get of cooler weather, we go right back to the hot and dry conditions we've seen pretty much all summer long. So that's it for the briefing. If you have any questions, please let us know. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.